An NRA commentator is insisting that a lot of people, including those in the corporate media, shouldn't call shooters shooters. He was speaking specifically of Elliot Rodger, the shooter at the UC Santa Barbara campus, where 19 people were killed or wounded. Rodger fatally stabbed 3 in his apartment before going on a public shooting spree. Of the 11 people that he hit with gunfire, 3 died. He also struck 4 people with his car. So Billy Johnson, NRA commentator, says, it's not really fair to call him a shooter. What about a stabber or someone who was hitting people with his car? Let's take a look at the video clip. This is from the NRA.
Even in a state with restrictive laws, gunmen amassed weapons and ammunition. Suspected UC Santa Barbara shooter is director's son. The disturbing internet footprint of Santa Barbara shooter. Gunmen stabbed 3 to death before shooting spree. What do you think when you hear these headlines? If you're like most people, you think that someone with a gun perpetrated a horrific mass killing. Well, that's really only half the story. The half the media has chosen to focus on. Yes, the Santa Barbara murderer had a gun, and yes, he killed 3 people with that gun. But he also killed 3 people with a knife and injured several others with his car. What we call things matters. Newspaper headlines matter. Labeling matters. It's not innocuous. And when every headline refers to this person as a gunman or a shooter, guns become permanently linked with his crime. While cars and knives get a free pass, they fade into the background. He's a shooter first, a gunman first. Well, you know what I think? I think we should call him a killer first. So why is it that all the headlines refer to the shooter or the gunman? Why isn't he equally referred to as the stabber or the driver? Perhaps it would be harder to sell newspapers with those headlines.
Of course, they originally undermined their own point. They released the video with the title Santa Barbara Shooting. After realizing the absurd hypocrisy and nonsense of that, they changed the title of the video to Santa Barbara Stabber. This is not unique. There's been a persistent effort from people like Billy Johnson, whoever he is, to downplay the role of guns in mass killings, right? They want to focus on mental illness, or they want to focus on violent video games. They want to focus on anything but the gun. But at the same time, if guns don't kill people, the bullets certainly are doing the killing. So maybe we should be calling him the bullet firer, Elliot Rodger?
I don't know. This is, I think this is a really funny, but also a sad PSA. What would you call this? Commercial?
Yeah, it's like a commentary. I don't even know what to call it. Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's probably just designed to sell more guns. And you know what? It probably will.
If murderers, and the other funny thing is that if the focus here is not on the guns, and if they really want to argue that both knives and cars, which of course are not designed to hurt people, if knives and cars can really do the same damage as guns can, why are these right-wingers so obsessed with getting access to guns? You'd think they'd be happy with knives or cars to protect themselves if they truly felt that those were just as dangerous. In other words, with so many more restrictions on guns than on knives, a logical person who really believes that the knife is just as dangerous would say, I don't care that much about guns being more difficult to get because the knives are just as dangerous. I'll just get knives.
Yeah, or just get a car. Better yet, David, a bulletproof car. You could do a lot of damage with that.
The fact that they want so many and so many types of guns is proof that guns obviously are more dangerous than cars or knives. Let's take a break. Next, birther queen Orly Tates makes her return to the show.